Welcome back to TechSpace, and in this video we're going to be going over the if-else statement. What the if-else statement does, it is basically an operator in programming that is used in a lot of languages as the same notation, the if statement, the if-else statement. Just basically a conditional operator which tests a condition, and then if the condition is false, it doesn't run the code inside of the function, and if the code or if the operation is true, then it does run the code inside of the function. So sorry for that. Again, it is a little bit late, but we're going to get straight into the if-else function. Well, the if function and then the if-else function, and explaining to you what they are, but by starting to write them. So what we're going to have first is the if, and again you're just going to write if, and then we're going to write parentheses and then a body of code which is written in braces. And before this, we're going to create two variables. One, we'll use integers because we haven't used those yet. We have an integer x that's equal to 10, and we're going to have an integer y that's equal to 5. Now we're going to, inside of this condition, we're basically testing two variables. So that's why we created two variables, so that we can test them against each other. And that's when we're going to use a conditional operator such as the if statement or the if-else statement, because it tests these conditions, and then again, if that test is true, it will run the code inside of this body, and if the test is false, it will just cancel out all the code altogether. So this works well when your program's changing over time and changing due to different variables in the program, because it helps balance out. It helps a lot of things. Literally, the if statement can be used for an infinite amount of things in programming. So just remember the notation for it. Remember it tests conditions, and we're just going to go ahead and test x and y. So we're going to say if x is greater than y, then inside this code, we're just going to say output x is greater than y. End line. And we're going to run this code. So as you can see, the program says x is greater than y. So x must be greater than y, which it is in the variables above. It tested that condition, it found out it was true, and it ran the code. Now let's make it false. Let's make y 50 and run this code again. As you can see, we got the same thing, but without the text, obviously, because this is a false statement, therefore the code was never ran. Now, that's the basics of an if statement. The other operators you can use in here, besides the greater than and less than sign, are the, you would use the greater than and equal than sign to say greater than or equal to, or the equal sign and the less than sign to say less than or equal to, or greater than or equal to. So you have less than or equal to, and then we have greater than or equal to. And then we can also say equal to. So if x is equal to y, it is equal sign, use two of them. Some languages use three even. So that's something to remember. Write all of these down. Again, they're really important, and you'll use them a lot when you're testing conditions, especially in the earlier stages of programming, because that's really all you have as of right now to test a condition. So the next thing we're going to go over again is the else part of the if statement. So the if statement is not over. We also add something else. No pun intended. So what we're going to put at the end of this body is, as you can see, when I click on the end of this function code, so actually these are the braces for the function, the if statement function, but at the end of the if statement function, you're going to go and type else. And then we're going to type body of code, and that's it. So we're going to spread it out so we can put our code inside of here. and we're just going to say else, which basically means if x is equal to y, output x is greater than y. Well, we'll say fx is greater than y, obviously, then cout, or output, x is greater than y. If x isn't greater than y, which means this is false, is where the else statement comes in. So else just means else, meaning if it's not true. So else, we're going to print x is not greater than y. And in that line as well. So as you can see, x is not greater than y, so we're going to run this program and see what we get. And there we go. So x is not greater than y. It went through, it tested this condition. It said, well, x isn't greater than y, so we can't say that it's greater than y. So we have to go down in the program to see what else is here. And the else statement says, oh, if this statement is false, we're just going to print this code out. And that's what we did. So the else statement just printed out x is not greater than y by default. And that's basically it. So the if statement, the if, and the if else statement are really important. Again, if you have to watch these videos several times to understand them, it's just what you have to do. I remember when I was learning how to program, I did the same thing on the internet. I read books. It took a second, so just don't quit if you're not getting it. Just stay tuned for more videos. Again, I have an entire playlist on C++. Check it out. If you're not already in the playlist, go to my channel, go to playlist, and find the C++ playlist for 2018. Click on it. Watch all the videos and learn C++. I promise you it will take you less than a whole, maybe 2 days. So that's 2 days max if you're actually putting in the effort. And to be honest, I could personally learn it in 1 day. In plenty of languages, I think 3 or 4 of them I have learned in about 1 day. So that's all I have for this video, you guys. I just wanted to again give you guys a little bit of advice. If you are having issues learning how to program, it's more than likely just due to the amount of programming you're doing, because programming is something you have to be repetitive with and do over and over to understand fully. So that's all I have to say. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next time.